Back in the day, when my mom got me Boxel for my brand new Game Boy, I had no idea how instructive it would end up being. After all, it was little more than a game about pushing boxes around a room, yet we've seen that kind of puzzle pop up in some genuinely surprising places over the last 30 years. The newest spin on the crate-pushing genre is Patrick's Parabox, a tripping new puzzle game with an almost endless supply of crazy ideas. In fact, there are so many wrinkles to the formula here that after Patrick's Parabox, I doubt we're ever gonna need to push another crate again. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna need to find another back-breaking task to turn into a puzzle cliche. Here's my review of Patrick's Parabox. At first glance, Patrick's Parabox doesn't look all that different from Boxel on the Game Boy. It's a game where a colored box with eyes pushes around other boxes in order to solve a puzzle. This is a concept that you've seen countless times before. But don't dismiss it just yet, because this is actually a puzzle game where there are boxes within boxes within boxes. That's right, this is the Inception of crate-pushing games, where you'll manipulate reality by shrinking smaller and smaller in order to go inside other boxes and find the solutions. The good news is that the game does a great job of easing you into the mind-bending concept. We'll start out by using the shapes inside of the boxes to get around tricky environments, which will quickly turn into pushing bigger boxes into smaller boxes so that they can all fit into an even smaller box. There are also stages built around portals, clones, transferring, and so much more. Each new area finds a way to work a new mechanic into the mix, something that'll force you to completely rethink how you're going to approach each stage. Now, there are a few things that you're going to have to keep in mind, no matter what level you're trying to solve. For starters, our little box can only push, so if you accidentally move a box next to the wall, the only way to pull it back is to reverse time and back it up a few steps. You'll also find that you can move multiple boxes around at the exact same time, so you can throw away that smart idea of using a crate as an anchor. A lot of the levels look incredibly easy at first, only to reveal their true challenge when you realize that you can't put a box there or shrink it down when you want to. Even when I hit a wall, both literally and figuratively, I couldn't get over how clever the puzzles were. And it's in both big ways and small. There were just so many times when I had to stop for a moment and marvel at the level's ingenuity. What's especially impressive is that there are more than 350 of these expertly crafted stages, yet none of them feel like filler. Each new area will introduce a new wrinkle to the gameplay, then the game will play with that concept until it either runs out of ideas or just gets bored. For a game about pushing boxes around, there's very little repetition in the puzzles. And best of all, you don't even need to beat all the levels in order to move on. This keeps the pace fast, while also giving you a lot of content to come back and experience. Trust me, this is not one of those games where you're gonna beat it in just 1 or 2 sittings. You're gonna be picking away at Patrick's Parabox for some time to come. A lot of the reason why all this works so well is because of its simplicity. Even though it can sometimes take a moment to wrap your head around all the different layers in a puzzle, all you're required to do is push a box around. This is a game that knows that you're going to get stuck from time to time, so the developer wisely added a rewind button, as well as a button that'll just reset the level back to its starting position. The levels and pieces may get more complicated, but the gameplay and the goals are always simple. Patrick's Parabox makes a strong argument that you can do a lot more than you might think with a simple premise. Puzzle developers can learn a lot from the designs and the mechanics found in this game. In that sense, Patrick's Parabox is hard to criticize. It's a purposely simple concept with a complementary art style that doesn't get in the way of the game's hidden depth. The gameplay is responsive, and it has enough out so that you never get stuck to the point of frustration. And even when you can't solve an especially tough puzzle, you're never forced to stick with it. There are hundreds of levels to jump around and play, all of them with fresh ideas that never felt like filler. And best of all, it has a great soundtrack full of catchy songs that you won't be able to get out of your head. Look, the only way you're not gonna love Patrick's Parabox is if you simply don't like puzzle games. Everybody else will find an instantly likable game with endlessly innovative puzzle designs. I cannot recommend it strongly enough. Pendrick's Parabox may look and feel a bit simple, but this is a must-play puzzle game with an ocean's worth of hidden depth. With more than 350 inventive stages and dozens of clever wrinkles to the formula, you're not going to find any filler here. This is an expertly crafted puzzler with precise gameplay, a cool art style, fantastic music, and one cool idea after another. Honestly, I'm still in awe of the ingenuity of the stage designs and how similar it sometimes feels to Inception. Yeah, I think that Patrick should be happy about now because his Parabox is a winner from beginning to end. Hey, thanks for watching our review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now, here's the question I have for you. Who is your favorite puzzle game hero? Obviously, a lot of puzzle games don't have characters, but some do. Hell, Mario's even been in a couple of puzzle games. Let me see your picks for favorite puzzle hero in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back later this week with another Game Over episode and more EGM ranks. What will they be looking at this week? Oh, just gonna have to wait and see. In the meantime, I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.